Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today I'm going to be showing you the second half of my February wrap-up. This is a large portion of books that I've finished. I was kind of shocked at how much I finished. I had a really successful end of the month. I finished 2 short story collections. I finished 4 books that I was sent for review by publishers. I finished 1 book that I'd been kind of like slowly working through, and then I finished a graphic novel and 2 books during my readathon that I read during the end of February, and 1 book that I listened to on Audible that I started back beginning of February. This is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I'll link down below the review I've already posted and done. I loved this. 5-star read. Beautiful. Changed my view on sci-fi. If you're into sci-fi, you will love this. If you're not into sci-fi, but you kind of like different cultures and feeling like you're learning something, this is amazing too. Just read it, please. It's amazing, and it's the best sci-fi book I've ever read. Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I picked this up at my local bookstore. I ordered it through them, and as soon as I got it, I came home and just ate through it. This is By Light We Knew Our Names. It took me 2 days to read this, and it's by Anne Valente. I think I gave this 4.5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I have her smaller collection as well, which I've read, and I think that her books are absolutely beautiful and brilliant, and I believe she has a novel coming out, which I will put on pre-order as soon as it becomes available. Absolutely read it, though, if you're interested in short story collections, and if you're not into short story collections but you want to be, that's another good way to do it. This was my graphic novel of this month. This is Monstrous. This was by Major Lu and Sana Takti. This is Image Comics. I picked this up in my local comic book store. I was super stoked that they had it, and it was a quick and easy read. 5 stars, easy, gorgeous, wonderful. I'm going to keep it in the plastic though because I'm highly protective of it because it took me so long to track down. The Few by Cathy McSporran was sent to me by Freight Publishing for review. I requested Cold City, with link down below. That was the first book I read by Cathy McSporran. They sent me this as a thank you, and I will link down below the review I did on this. This is a YA historical fiction fantasy. It's amazing, and if you like World War II, if you like reading about Nazis, if you like reading about witches, and if you like reading about magic in general, this is gorgeous, and I do believe it's going to be a series, so I'm excited. Actually, this is the second book that I read in my, I don't want to hurt you, in my underhyped booked readathon. This is The Lightkeepers by Abby Geni. I will be doing a full review of this. If I haven't already posted it, I will be shortly, and either way, it will be linked down below as soon as it is up. This is a 5-star read for me. I was going between 4.5 and 5. I ended up going with 5. This will also now be making it up to the shelf of books that I love and will keep for the rest of my life because they're all-time favorites. This was amazing. Not something I expected to love as much as I did, and it blew me away. And Abby Geni is now an auto-buy for me. To How a Mother Weaned Her Girl from Fairy Tales. 3-star read. I wanted it to be better than it was. It was cute. There were some short stories that I really did love, and there were some sweet moments and some stuff that I really thought was beautiful, but it didn't do what I wanted it to do, and there was nothing that was like, bam, oh my god, this is amazing. I definitely would recommend this to somebody who likes fairy tale retellings but is kind of newer to them. I think it's just a lot of fun, and it was a 3-star read for me, though. I would still recommend it. 3 stars is like, it's okay. I think it's pretty good. So don't not go get it because it's a 3-star read. Crown Publishing sent me Liar by Rob Roberge, and this is a memoir about his experience with bipolar and self-medication. This was great. I will link my review of it down below. This was sent to me by Crown Publishing for review. I requested it from them. This is not solicited, I will tell you that. None of these books are solicited. I don't get paid to do any of this, so that is a fun fact. I'm just saying that because I panicked. Somebody was like, nobody's telling anybody what everyone's not telling that they get paid. And I'm like, I don't get paid. I just do this because I love it. I just love it so much. It's really traumatizing when you think you've done something wrong and you haven't. Next, Banana Kiss by Bonnie Rozanski. This is from Porcupine Quill Press in Canada. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with this press. They have beautifully published books. They are wonderful to work with. They are honest, they're kind, and they're they're super supportive too of everything I've done. I've seen them reprint or retweet and like they're just everything I've done they've supported 100%, and that's a really wonderful feeling to have, and I'm so happy to be working with them. I have reviewed, this is about a young woman named Robin who suffers from schizophrenia and lives in an institution, and she is dealing and coping with her schizophrenia, her father's suicide when she was a young girl, a loving relationship with a manic depressive, and her sister getting married to her ex-boyfriend. So it's an interesting one, but really beautifully written, really wonderfully done, and absolutely 5-star read. I will link the review down below. Please go check it out and give Porcupine Quill Press a look-see. This was sent to me by Dog Ear Publishing. I requested this for review. It's an LGBTQ story of a young woman. It's actually, I believe it's autobiographical. I want to say it is. Yes. This is Joan Adelind's autobiography. This is set in the 1951 to 1957 as a young child, and her finding and discovering herself to be homosexual and not really knowing what that meant, and kind of coming out of the closet and understanding that it's different and it was weird at that time. So it's a really beautiful and touching and gripping story. It was easy to read, very short, and I found it just wonderful. And Joan, I've already spoken to herself, the author, and she is just phenomenal. So I will be reviewing this fully in a full review soon. I haven't done it yet, and when I do, it will be linked down below. This was the book that I listened to on Audible 41 hours later. This is The Crimson Petal and the White by Michel Faber. I always put an L in there, and I don't know why. What is wrong with me? I have now introduced my mother to this, so I was listening to this on Audible with my mother, so we were like battling back and forth for who was going to get the bookmark in the Audible. So like I would listen to 2 hours, and then she would come in and be like back to where her original bookmark was, and then I'd be stuck and have to like re-listen to things. It was an intense reading experience for that reason alone. These characters are just sticking with me. Sugar, oh my god, like they are so real and so vivid, and I can't even believe I think that Jen should probably just slap me in the face because I didn't listen to her sooner. So now I have to pick up everything else that Michel Faber has written because it's a problem. I'm glad I listened to it on Audible. The only issue I had was it was a female narrator, and for some reason I read the first 5 chapters in the book via the book, and then I switched to Audible and started back at the beginning with my mother so that she could get into it because she loves historical fiction. And yeah, so I started reading this, and when I was reading it in my head, it sounded like a male narrator, and the narrator of Audible was a female. It took me a while to get back into the swing of hearing it as a female voice, but for some reason it worked in the end, but in the beginning it was not happening. Last but not least is this little guy, this little girl, this little one. This is so cute. This is Aesop's Secret by Claudia White. This was a 5-star read. Just so adorable. 150 pages, maybe a little bit more, but totally worth it. 152. You can't go wrong. And they're tiny. It's so tiny, like, just, it's adorable. You can't not, I don't know, it's just, oh, it was so sweet. It's a little story. I'm not going to review it in a private way, but it is a little story about a girl named Melinda, which she's a 10-year-old girl who finds out that her family has the ability to shapeshift, and it's just her magical experience with this wonderful new world that she has discovered that she has a power and she's this ability, and she's got an older brother who just doesn't want to hear about it. It was just a really cute child story, and I absolutely loved it. I mean, honestly, the cover was what sold me initially, and then I read it, and now I'm gonna pick up the sequel because just such a sweet little story. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me here on my February on my February wrap-up. How did that happen? How did we get to March already? I don't even know. Alright guys, it was great to see you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!